As Marcus Aurelius once said, think of the life you have lived until now as over and as a dead man. See what's left as a bonus, and live it according to nature. Love the hand that fate deals you and play it as your own, for what could be more fitting? Valerius sat on a weathered piling at the bustling wharves of Brundisium. The salt spray crusted on his tunic. Propped against his thigh was a cane of polished oak, a substitute for the strength he had lost when a falling timber on a siege engine shattered his hip. Before the accident, Valerius had been a decurion of the cavalry, a man defined by speed, balance, and the thunder of hooves. Now, he was a static figure in a world of motion, watching merchant vessels swell with wind and depart four corners of the empire he would never see again. For months, Valerius had existed in a gray fog of resentment. He regarded his injury not merely as a wound, but as a gravestone. He spent his mornings mourning the future. He had been promised the promotions, the land grant, the glory, and his afternoons despising the cripple he had become. He felt that the fates had dealt him a hand so poor that the only honorable option was twofold, yet his body stubbornly refused to die. One afternoon, an elderly sailmaker named Septimus settled onto a crate nearby. Septimus was a fixture of the port, a man with skin like parchment and eyes that seemed to have seen every storm the Mediterranean could muster. He held a heavy canvas sail across his lap, pushing a bone needle through the thick fabric with practiced ease. He glanced up at Valerius, who was glaring at a group of soldiers boarding a transport. "You look at the horizon like a man waiting for a ship that has already sunk," Septimus observed, his voice rough, but not unkind. "My ship didn't sink," Valerius muttered, gripping the head of his cane. "It was wrecked on the shore. My life ended the day that timber fell, Septimus. I am just a ghost haunting these docks." Septimus paused his stitching. He looked at the younger man with a thoughtful expression. "If that is true," the old man said, "and the Valerius of the cavalry is truly dead and gone, then who is this sitting here, drinking the air and feeling the sun?" Valerius frowned, unsure how to answer. "Listen to me," Septimus continued, gesturing with his needle. "If your life is over, then you have no more obligations. A dead man has no fears, no ambitions to fail at, and no reputation to uphold. If you are dead, Valerius, then every breath you take from this moment on is surplus. It is a bonus. You are living on time you do not owe to anyone." The words struck Valerius with the clarity of a bell. He had been agonizing over the cards he had lost, wishing he was still at the high-stakes table. But Septimus was telling him that the game he was stressing over was finished. He was now in a different game entirely, playing with winnings he hadn't expected to have. Valerius looked down at his hands. They were no longer the hands of a horseman, gripping the reins. But they were steady. He looked at the massive tear in the canvas on Septimus's lap. He realized that if he regarded his former self as deceased, he was liberated from the pain of comparison. He was free to simply be what he was now, without the crushing weight of what he should have been. "I cannot ride," Valerius said softly, the bitterness draining from his tone, "but I have strong shoulders. And I can learn to stitch." "Then take this palm guard," Septimus said, tossing him a piece of leather. "Fate took your speed, but it left your grip. That is the hand you hold now. Play it as if it were the one you chose." Valerius slid the leather guard over his hand. He picked up a needle and drove it into the canvas. He was no longer a fallen soldier. He was a man enjoying the unexpected gift of a quiet afternoon, weaving a new purpose from the threads of a life he had thought was over. If this story connected with you, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this.